What's going on? Welcome back to episode number 14 of the Look Mum, I'm Hustling podcast. We're back again.
Back again. We're knee deep in lockdown at the moment.
We are.
But we're excited because we actually have something to do. So we get to record a podcast today.
To do a podcast. There's not much YouTube video content because we're not really out there thrifting and stuff at the moment due to the Sydney lockdown. So we're doing a podcast instead because we're at home and we got nothing else to do.
Well, I know we don't really have much else to do. It's because you actually have done it all already.
Worked so hard
already.
already.
Too efficient because we didn't think this lockdown would be extended for longer than what it has. So you're like, I'll get this out of the way. I can spend this time like redoing spreadsheets, all that kind of stuff. And you did. And you're like, I'm too efficient. Now what do I do?
Far too efficient, apparently. No, that's not the case at all. But yeah, been at home for 2 weeks now. You've been at work and... Looks like I'll probably be locked down for another 2 weeks. So, been trying to keep myself busy and stuff. But yeah, it's been interesting.
Yeah.
Very different to the 2020 V1, version 1 of the lockdowns.
Yeah, because you were still working for the man at the time. Yeah, now you're just working for yourself, so you have to keep yourself occupied.
Working for this man.
Yeah, your man. You the man.
I'm the man.
But this time... Yeah, you've got your own job, have to set your own tasks, keep yourself busy, keep yourself motivated. But at least, you know what? We'll be able to clear some of the stuff that we own that we've had like sitting around for ages.
Amid a very, very early preemptive spring clean.
Yeah. Well, because like I've sort of like set into my head now, if we're going to be traveling in a van for a while, like what do I want to keep here? What do I want to put like possibly in storage, all that kind of stuff. So... Yeah, I can sort of do it early, get out of the way while you've got time because I'm still off to work. Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been trying to find things to keep myself busy. Had a bunch of Pokemon Vivid Voltage cards and stuff in that cupboard that I never got around to listing after we broke those last year.
Oh,
I had a lot of fun opening those.
Yeah.
And then, very good segue. It was obviously set up. Listing some old basketball cards. And what do you know? Our first PSA submission came back.
I know. Super exciting. You got that email. I think you were super shocked. You're like, oh, I got the invoice. They're ready. Yeah. They're ready to be like paid for and shipped back. Yeah. Not all of them. Just the lovely top tier ones.
Top tier ones. The expensive ones.
Yeah. So that was actually a really nice day to get them. You were so excited. You were like, this is so cool.
It was so good.
This is so cool.
Yeah, so we bought a bunch of individual basketball cards on eBay, probably like March, April last year, 2020. And a few sealed boxes at the time. Don Russ Optic, trying to chase that Ja Morant, Zion Williamson.
All those little future goats.
But yeah, I had a lot of fun opening those and sort of flipping the ones that we didn't want to keep and then keeping the Celtics ones because obviously we like the Celtics. And pulled a couple of bangers. Well, you specifically pulled a couple of bangers. You pulled a Ja Morant My House Holo insert card, which was primo. And a couple of months later, September last year, we sent them off to PSA to get graded, which is basically a company that authenticates the quality of the card or the authenticates the legitimacy, make sure it's all legit, not a fake card, and the quality, make sure the edges and the surface and everything are all nice and neat and there's no printing mistakes, and then they put in a little plastic slab, give it a rating, and then the card can go up or down in value based on the rating you get. Yeah. We got back at PSA 10 on that one.
So cool. And it's like, when you started talking about it ages ago, I didn't realize like if the card was printed slightly off center, that can affect the pricing. Like there's so many of these little details that can affect the pricing or the value of a card and like what it's worth. And then you're like, well, if we spend that little bit extra and get it graded and get it like nice and sealed, it can potentially like make the value rise, which I thought was awesome. So it was like a good investment for it.
It's encasing it in its state. So like it can go down in value. You can break it and drop the card or catch on fire or whatever, but it's designed to retain its value at that state that's sent in. So yeah, I got a couple of 9s and a couple of 10s.
Yeah. Oh, and it depends on the player as well. So
of course.
The player could have a bad run and the card could go down in value.
You want to send a good card in.
Yeah, but you just look out for those little future goats. But that was mad getting that back. I can't believe. How long did it take again?
So we sent those ones in September. It's now started July. So what's that, 10 months or whatever? And there's another 20 odd that are still there waiting to get graded.
Yeah.
They're the lower end ones that are like like 100 to 200 US. So they'll be coming probably closer to September, around that 12-month mark.
Yeah, you got in just in time before the wait time sort of increased as well, didn't you?
Yeah. So another thing we've been into recently, because cards become so expensive now, the hype has gone up as well as Pokemon. It seems like it's harder to get packs to open from retail stores or even online. The scalpers get in. We've flipped a few items. We're technically scalpers in a sense for an odd item here or there.
Yeah, but there was always plenty there. We didn't take like the last couple. We always,
But yeah, like the harder to get in retail stores, and then as soon as they hit the retail websites and stuff, for like the secondary market, it's just so expensive. So NFTs are all the rage now.
Yeah, you were...
And, okay, carry on. Yeah.
Sorry, I was going to say, when you first mentioned, I was like, what the hell is this? And it's like the whole concept behind it is so cool. It's like just digital art work to begin with. But yeah, it's just branched off so much more from there.
Well, basically the transition was from the basketball cards to the NBA TopShot.
Yeah.
Which is an NFT, which is the subject of today's episode. Yeah, just a little, we're not experts on NFTs, we're just like super interested in like what it's about, like the potential of it, just how interesting it is. So we just thought we'd do like a mini, man, we can't even cover everything today anyway, like we've just brushed the surface. But yeah, definitely the TopShot was the gateway into NFTs, but TopShot would have to be, it's probably one of the most popular ones anyway. It is definitely one of the most popular ones. So basically we'll break it down for people what it is. So I guess like I said, we got into it from having basketball cards. It's basically a digital version of a basketball card, but it's not a static image like a card would be. It's called a moment. So it's like a little highlight video clip, 5-second reel of like a crazy dunk or a layup or whatever, an assist, a cool play.
For my non-sport nerdy friends out there, it's a bit like the Harry Potter photos. So like they have a bit of movement in them. So it's like a snapshot in time.
A non-sport reference.
Yeah, just for my friends out there. But yeah, it's a movement of a photo, which is pretty cool. So
it's like
with
a little GIF almost.
Yeah, like exactly like a GIF. So it's like a cool dunk and all that kind of stuff. And I remember you sort of talking about like the future of where that could go is like you could create your own like fantasy team with all these like cool actions and all that kind of stuff, which is mad.
Yeah, so it seems very weird at first, and then you get into it and it becomes a bit more intriguing and exciting. But we'll start off with the NBA TopShot. It works very similar in terms of the way you get your moments or own them. It's the same as buying on eBay or like opening a pack. You can obviously buy individual ones or, like I said, packs where you can open them up and you get a lottery or a chance at potentially getting a crazy one or a couple of duds.
Yeah, you get a lot of duds.
It's not that bad. We've made profit on most of them for sure. Like, you don't really lose that much money yet. The more it's not financial advice at all. Don't put your money into NBA TopShot because it probably will go down.
You know, it's like investing in anything, whether it's like the stocks, crypto, all that kind of stuff.
We should have mentioned at the start.
Yeah, like it is always a gamble. So just, do your research, all that kind of stuff. But because you're a big fan of NBA, it just seemed like a natural transition to like go get into it, really.
Yeah. So like the initial question you will probably have is like, why are these any different to normal cards? How are they going to keep their value or go, what's going to potentially make them rise in value? There's no point sort of putting money into an investment like that or a collectible like that if you don't think it's really going to retain or grow in value. So it comes down to the serial number, the number of them. So obviously what fuels,
a lot of collectibles,
economies and is supply and demand, scarcity drives the price. So the number of moments or like the number of times it's minted, I believe is the correct terminology.
Yep, I've heard that being thrown around. Yeah,
specific moment will then determine how rare it is, whether it's 1,000 of them made or 10,000, and that will determine the price. So there's a lot of like really interesting factors that go into play into NBA TopShot. So for example, this morning I got a pack. It was $14.
Yep.
US. I got two decent ones I didn't really want necessarily that had higher serial numbers, so they weren't worth as much. So one of them was like a 12,000 edition, so they made 12,000 of them. I had like a 10,000, so it wasn't super low. You want something super low. Obviously, anything under like 100 would be crazy.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
Or like a really unique number or a jersey number. If their jersey number is like 55 and you get a number 55, that's going to potentially make it more valuable. There's a lot of numerology at play in NBA TopShot.
Yeah, well, very, very similar to actually the physical cards. So, they'll make, like the holos and stuff, there's not as many, so they're more rare, more expensive. Or if you get like their number like 2 out of 15, that's going to be worth a little bit more as well. So very similar premise, but just the digital version, which is kind of cool.
Similar to like the PSA grading as well.
100%,
If it's a PSA 10, I guess you could equate it to a moment that's numbered between 1 and 100, and a PSA 9, but perhaps 100 to 1,000.
Yeah.
It works its way back. But like the value does change depending on the scarcity, I guess, is the main point.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's sort of how we got into NFTs. I buy a pack every couple of weeks, flip some. There's cool challenges. So if you collect a certain number of players, if you hold them for a certain amount of time, you're rewarded with like a cool prize at the end. And then you can choose whether to flip that. There's a lot of economics at play.
Yeah.
When different packs are released and whatnot, the market goes up and down. But that's just like you said, the gateway to NFTs. That's
100%.
just like the very, very basic intro to TopShot. But we want to go deeper into that.
Yeah. And especially with the challenges as well. So depending on how many people participate in the challenge, depends on how many of that card that you get at the end there is. So just say if there's only 300 people, there's only 300 of that card.
So you got a better odd of getting a 1 or a 2 or a 3 or a 4.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. And it's fun.
Yeah. That's mad. And then
there's people that have made a lot of money on there, but it's also tanking at the moment. So obviously do your own research with any sort of crypto or NFT endeavor. But let's move on. You've done a bit of research in the last couple of days since we've decided to talk about this topic.
Yeah.
Should we just break down what NFTs are? Like, obviously, we just brushed over it very briefly. Let's go for like a quick 1 minute outline of what NFT is. So it stands for
non-fungible tokens.
All right. So you've probably heard of this already. Like, this was hyped up in February.
Yeah.
And that's now July. Obviously, a lot of the hype is dying off, but I think there's potential for this, a lot of these projects to last long term for sure. Yeah. So, non-fungible token.
Yes.
We've gone all over the place here.
I know. So, it's a bit.
So, what is something fungible is something you can trade for something exactly the same.
One for one.
$1 note to $1 notes.
Exactly.
Trade equal value, you can trade them back and forth.
Yeah. And like my understanding of like NFTs in general is a bit like crypto and like the blockchain and everything is like traceable. Like everything has like a transaction. You can see that it's a little bit more open source. So when you apply, which is what I sort of liked, when you apply art to it.
You're jumping way too far ahead.
Too far ahead?
Way too far. We're defining non-fungible right now.
I'm getting a little bit too far ahead.
Fungible is something you can transfer there's an exact equivalent. You can transfer $1 to $1 note to a $1 note. I don't know, heaps of things.
Yeah.
Humans, like, we're not fungible because I can't trade an exact you for an exact another you, right?
That is true.
So
we're
it's
one
about
of a kind.
trading unique things. Mm-hmm. So therefore, there's unique values applied to like each individual thing. So that's non-fungible. So you can't trade for the exact same thing, basically. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah. So, because like fungible means you can do one for one, you can replace it, but because it's non-fungible, you can't replace it. So it's unique. It's a one-off.
Whether it's like in this example for TopShot, it has a different serial number attached. Means there's not two of them that are both numbered number 1.
Yeah, so it might be the same photo, but they all have a different number, which makes them unique.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. That's defining non-fungible.
Yeah.
Token is just like a representation
of like a money, like a monetary value to it. So a bit like games tokens, things like that. Yeah. They've just, it's like, so non-fungible token, it's like a non-fungible like monetary item.
Just a thing. Yeah. Just a token.
Yeah. I just think
little things.
Yeah, but it creates like monetary value to it as well.
Okay, now we can go where you were going to go.
Right.
What were you saying?
Right. So with the whole idea of NFTs, something that really sort of brought it into limelight or made it popular was like artists getting behind it. So whether it was like visual artist or music artist, all that kind of stuff, like it sort of celebrities and everything started to get involved in that way, but I can sort of see why it attracted a lot of visual artists and it actually reminded me, I might be jumping again too far in ahead, but you remember that documentary, what was it called? Hold on.
Don't know what it was called.
It was called, oh man, I just had it before.
It was a movie about artists.
Oh, Major Look.
Okay, about selling fraudulent art and fake art and stuff.
Exactly, yeah. So while sort of researching or looking into NFTs in the art world, it made me think of that because there was this big cool documentary on Netflix and these paintings were all counterfeit, but they couldn't tell and they had all these fake documents and things like that. But if you had an NFT, you can't counterfeit it because you can see, yeah, like I said, it's traceable. So you can see where it originated from, its transaction history. So you know, yeah, it's traceable. So it's always got that signature to it.
Yeah. There's no fraudulence.
No
fraudulency at all.
And that's why like some of the digital NFT art is going and selling for even more than actual physical art, which is mental.
It's provable.
Yeah, exactly. I think the biggest one, where was it? I had it here.
Biggest what? Sale?
Yeah, the biggest like art sale, which is crazy. By like he's like the most unassuming looking dude. I think, yeah, he's just like, he looks a little nerdy, that kind of thing. But yeah, he's just like got glasses and he's just like a digital marketer or digital designer for like things like Versace or some kind of those like high-end fashion brands.
Yep.
Far out. I had his name before. I'm terrible at Beeple? Beeple.
And he sold it sort of like $69 million, right?
Yeah, like it's
crazy.
Super mental. Like and that's like how much like physical artwork can go for as well. And like he has the top 2 highest selling NFTs at the moment.
Yeah. So it's an interesting space. That's like one example. That's like the extreme of the extreme.
Oh yeah, that's like the top tier.
But like basically, I don't know if we've like really summarized this well or not. Hopefully we have. If you haven't, we apologize.
Yeah.
But NFTs, non-fungible tokens, they're pieces of unique art that are digital. You can't own them physically, and you can trade them, buy and sell them on the internet.
On the internet, and you can trace them back and things like that.
So there's a whole range of NFTs from people like Beeple, where they're like unique one-off, like truly one-off pieces.
Yeah.
Like digital paintings or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then there's the other spectrum where there's like
people like you can create them.
Well, not like me, but like more of like a marketplace like TopShot. Like Beeple's just like a single, like if you think of him like as like a loner artist, painter dude by himself, flips his artwork. Then there's whole brands that are creating whole marketplaces of like hundreds of NFTs or thousands of them in that one world or game in a lot of ways.
Yeah, so it's like an NFT auction house or like an NFT eBay. You sort of can go shopping or bid on.
It's like characters basically. Yeah. So like
the characters,
the character one. So like we started off, you started off researching a bit. Crypto Kitties was one of the first NFTs, and they're basically little 2D animated avatars of like cats, and they all basically have the same shape and outline, and then just their like colors and outfits change,
like accessories, things like that. Yeah,
they're basically like you'd think of in-game video game characters.
Yep,
and
like
how
an
you can customize them and stuff, just avatars.
Yep,
and then it's called Crypto Kitties, and then obviously you see a little Crypto Kitty with a mohawk or something. You can sort of mentally ascribe a personality to that kitty perhaps, or you might connect with a kitty and then use him for your own social media avatars, what sort of people do with them.
Yeah.
And that's the whole other side of NFTs in terms of the art world, is like the marketplace or the gamification of NFTs.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, because you do have the avatar version, but yeah, you've got
just
the where you can
solo artists like doing their own thing.
Exactly.
As well.
Yeah, but like you were talking, and I never even knew that there was like gaming versions of NFTs, which is like mad.
Yeah.
You said there was like a big one in Indonesia.
So we had a look at earlier. I think it's called Axie Infinity. It's going crazy right now.
It's like the second biggest after TopShot, isn't it?
I think this week I think it was doing more sales volume than TopShot, but I don't know too much about the actual economics behind it all.
They're both like two of the biggest, yeah.
But it's basically just some sort of strategy game, I guess. I didn't really look into too much about how the game worked. But the NFTs are like the in-game characters and skins and resources and stuff in the game are sort of the NFT representations. And there's actually people that are renting, I believe, NFTs that they own to other players in the game. So if you own, I don't even know if the game's about fighting. Let's just say there's a crazy sword that costs $10,000 for you to buy.
And it only can do like maybe one or two particular challenges, and you need it to complete to get like, I guess, something even better.
You can rent it out to someone for a given amount of time so they can complete it and they just pay you. So they're essentially renting an NFT for you for a given amount of time.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting when you talk about the traceability and everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing that you can't really do on TopShot right now. If I want to complete a challenge and I need something that you have to complete my challenge, you can send it to me, but there's no way of you tracking that and getting that back off me once I've sort of borrowed it and want to give it back.
Yeah.
I can just keep it and steal it because there's no mechanism or what they call a smart contract in place that says, hey, I'm going to lend this NFT to this person for X amount of time, and when it finishes, it needs to be returned back to my wallet. So in this game, you can actually rent things out to people, and I'm guessing there's smart contracts in place that say after 4 days of this person having it, I need it back.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
No, it does. Like, I thought that was such a cool idea because I remember you saying there's so many different NFTs out there. So you've got these platforms where you can buy and sell and all that kind of stuff. But with TopShot, it's exclusively within TopShot. So you don't have anything sort of guaranteed if you swap, like you're going to get it back.
You can gift things. So I can send you as a gift.
Yeah.
But like I can't do anything once it's there. Once it's in your wallet, it's in there.
Yeah, but I like the idea of having that contract so you can get it back, and that's like written into the blockchain, isn't it?
Yeah. So that's, again, we're not blockchain or crypto NFT experts.
No,
Very fundamental knowledge. We like to try and break it down into like easy to understand terms of how our brains would comprehend it.
Yeah.
That's basically a smart contract. It's just like same as like a verbal contract, but
like a rental agreement.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Like there'll be rental agreements with smart contracts in the future.
Oh, it's like when we hired or rented the van. So, signed that like online contract, got the keys for it, did our thing, gave the keys back.
Basically all of that can be digitalized and authenticated on the blockchain.
Yeah.
Customer X had the van for 46.8 hours. They went over kilometers by this much. It automatically triggers like some sort of invoice or whatever.
Yeah. And it's a good another little side hustle as well, because like you would, I guess, buy it, maybe rent it out to pay it off if you're paying a little bit extra, or you can make some extra money just from it in general.
So that Axie Infinity thing where you can rent out, again, we like literally read like one paragraph of this. But as far as I understand it, you can rent out more valuable items that you own to other players to fulfill tasks and stuff, which is kind of cool when you think about it. That's just in one game.
Yeah.
So like the whole thing that we're trying to do and a lot of other people our age are trying to do is, go and hustle your ass off to get some sort of financial freedom, which essentially means building your assets to have income coming in.
Yeah.
And this is potentially another way of garnering some income, not making an NFT and trying to sell it for $10,000 or $1 million, but if you can own some sort of NFT that has a utility, because that's what it all comes down to. Like the art is awesome. You can collect art, you can like artists, but like the next wave of NFT is...
Does it have another purpose?
Does it have another purpose? Can it be used, I don't know, for a rental agreement or for some real world application?
Yeah.
So like that's the
next step. Yeah. Like and like we said, we've only literally just like brushed the surface. We've only like dabbled our toes in this. Like there's so much more, but just the potential of like where it can go. Like I feel like it has more flexibility, more movement than just normal cryptocurrency, if that makes sense. This is like, it's a little bit more exciting. It's a little bit more visual. It's a little bit more engaging. Like it's very involved. And you said the community is very involved as well, isn't it?
That's the thing. It's so diverse. Like crypto is more about like building up a currency or an idea, I guess, and trying to obviously get your stocks to grow and then have applications and stuff that run, like cool programs that run.
Yeah.
That do everything from finance to like whatever. NFTs is like like you said, the art version. Like there's movies that are coming out that are like NFT first movies. There's, I think Katy Perry's got music coming out.
Yeah.
Twitter's giving out NFTs. Like it's now, it's gone from the world from the artists, like the underground sort of artists.
Yeah.
And then it's going to move into
mainstream,
like celebrity artists.
Yeah. Well, Grimes, she's a huge one that's into it as well.
And then it's like when the brands come in.
Yeah.
Like when's Coca-Cola going to
have an NFT?
NFT, you know, every time you have a Coke, you scan a QR code. When you have 1,000 QR codes, you get a Coke coin, and then with 5 Coke coins, you can buy a Coke NFT or something.
I was saying this the other day. So like with TopShot and like NBA cards, imagine if they had like a brand deal or a partnership with like I was about to say Panini. Yeah, Panini.
Panini, they already do their own NFTs.
Pardon? They already do? Oh, I was going to say.
They're just like static card. I haven't looked into them too much. They're just like static. The same as like a cardboard card, but just digital.
I was going to say, or like if you get like a special moment that's attached to it. So like, you know, when you used to buy, or not used to, when you buy vinyl, you also get like the MP3 version code. So like when you get a card or when you buy like a cool box or a pack, you get like a code for like a cool moment.
So that's what...
And it creates like more engagement and people over to the platform.
Yeah. Well, that's what it's all about, engagement, because... If someone's going to buy an NFT, they need to have attachment to it or see value in it, like going up. And if it's just something that sits there and doesn't really do much, it needs evolvability, which a lot of them do have. Like I have a LaMelo Ball NFT. LaMelo Ball is like a rookie from this year's NBA class.
It looks so odd too.
He played for Wollongong Hawks for a little bit.
Yeah.
His rookie of the year, he made his own NFTs. It's just basically him spinning around with like a basketball globe in his hand.
Yeah.
And they are dynamic as far as I'm aware. So they're not, they're going to evolve over time.
Right. So is that why it's almost like a blank canvas and then it's going to grow?
I don't know if it's going to evolve visually.
Right.
Like it's going to be different colors. It's more... They can attach different metadata and stuff on the back end of the blockchain to increase its value.
Gotcha.
So I think if you have one of his higher end ones, if you had bought it before he was announced as Rookie of the Year, it was like a certain status. And then once he was announced Rookie of the Year, they were attaching other attributes to the actual NFT. So it's dynamic. It can evolve and have stuff added to it over time to increase its value. So there's like, it's crazy to think about like what else can happen in the future. Like, because that's like compounding almost. Like the NFT is compounding with other more data over time.
Yeah.
And then it's like almost like interest on the NFT. That makes sense. It's kind of, I've said that a lot of times. Does that make sense?
No, and
probably not much of this has.
Yeah. I think it's more of like we're trying to still make sense with it, with each other as well. Like I've only just sort of like started to grasp, like I'm a visual type of person. So that's why I sort of see it more in the art terms, but because you're quite the NBA fan, you have a lot more experience with the TopShot.
Well, like you said, with the physical stuff, getting something physical would be cool. With the NBA TopShot, what they're trying to do is have it so if you have a certain number of moments in your like wallet or collection, you can get like backstage pass to one of the games or locker room access, or you can get merchandise.
Yeah.
Access to like limited edition merchandise for holding a certain number of their NFTs. So that's where like brands are going to come in. Content creators can come in if you're a big enough creator. Like Kim Kardashian can make...
Well, Logan Paul already made his own ones.
Oh, he made the Pokemon like rip-off ones, right? Yeah, exactly.
And then you've got like big entrepreneurs like Gary Vee has got his own ones as well. Yep. So like there's potential to make, if you've got the platform for it, there's potential to make your own ones and get money. But the biggest thing is like you're saying, the utility and the engagement. So people buying, selling, using it. That's the thing. Or demand, really.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. Very interesting. And I think we've only just scraped the surface here, Sarah.
Like there's something at least every week new with NFTs. I know.
Every day. You jump on Twitter and you're going to be flooded. And obviously, like, it isn't a huge bubble. I think
well, same as like
2.5
crypto bubble, investing bubble.
Yeah.
Like there's heaps of bubbles out there.
This, I think, NFTs has done $2.5 billion in sales in the first half of 2021.
Oh,
2.5 billion, and it was like 15 million for like last year.
Jeez.
So it's like gone up dramatically, and like May and June has dropped off quite a bit, but it's spiking up again in July based on our limited sort of brief research. And the big spike is actually due to that Axie Infinity game. So
right, yeah.
It depends if that's going to sort of blow up elsewhere outside of Indonesia. So don't crucify us if any of the info here is incorrect. This is sort of like a whirlwind of knowledge for us and obviously for you guys. But
it's just us figuring out. We're not experts.
Trying to figure out the digital world. But
yeah, the digital world. But it's just, we just find it exciting. It's interesting. Like it's just because there's so much.
Too much to wrap your head around. Too much.
There's heaps out there. But it's cool. I like the potential of like where it could go and just, everything all digital, and especially in this COVID world that we're in where we can't go to art galleries, we can't go to music concerts, we can't, experience some of those rare things that happen, you can have a digital version.
Yep. And the best thing is it doesn't cost once you bought it, it doesn't cost anything.
Yeah.
Everything here, if this cupboard was full of real basketball cards, I got to buy stuff to store them. I got to buy a safe, buy protective seals. I got to put them into storage at some point. This is all just digital.
Yeah, it's all digital.
Pull up a website.
Yeah, traceable.
Traceable, fully traceable.
Fully traceable.
All right, I think we'll wrap it up there because we jumped all over the place.
I know.
And we need to do more research, as always. But
we do.
We're here to learn with you guys and share our layman terms.
Exactly. Or we might do a little bit, maybe later on, a more in-depth episode on something in particular. Or
I think this is a good idea is like a brief intro. Like NFTs have been like hyped up since like January, February. So I'm sure everyone's heard about them. We've been sort of keeping an eye on things here and there, me more so on the NBA TopShot side of things. But I'm keen to follow some more projects and stuff. So maybe we can go a bit more specific and interview some important people behind projects.
Yeah.
Maybe we can interview a real Crypto Kitty.
Ooh, I was about to say like anyone that can afford one of those fancy avatars.
If you can afford a Bored Ape Yacht Club, if you're a Bored Ape yacht Club guy with a $30,000 monkey.
Yeah, or a cyberpunk.
Hit us up and we'll have you on.
Yeah, we'd love to like, I don't know, pick your brain about it all. Like it's so exciting and so crazy, like
also very terrifying. A lot of money being thrown around.
It is. We're trying to be. Yeah, we won't go into there. We
haven't spent any money.
No, we put like $100.
Maybe a couple more.
Yeah.
All right, we'll wrap it up there. Thank you guys for listening to episode number 14.
Yeah, thank you for hanging out with us. Always enjoy having these chats. Until next time.
See you guys in the next one. Keep making your mum proud.
Definitely. Oh, and don't forget to like and subscribe and all that kind of mojo. Oh, and leave a review as well.
Leave a review because that will help us rank up in the algorithm and help your friends hear us, because if you don't share us, that's potentially the only way they will. Yeah. Maybe.
I don't know. Just share you to friends, see if they like us or not.
Not sure how it works. All right. Thanks, guys. See ya.
Stay safe and thank you. See ya.